Zechariah Tiemann says, what happens when they or we start making political ads that forego political issues and instead focus on messaging and telling a story? I'll interrupt the question here to say, you mean something like that Virgin America video I've been talking about? Well, what'll happen if we do that is we're going to start winning elections. That's what's going to happen. Because it's not about the message. It's about the story. I'll tell you something. Hang on a second. I just shot an afterburner. I'll just interrupt myself real quick here. Shot an afterburner that'll be released, I guess, next week. And it's called Stories Liberals Tell. And basically I said, look, we think that in order to win people over, we have to be armed with statistics, and we have to be armed with argument, we have to be armed with fact and logic and all this other stuff. And we're going to show them what happens with the national healthcare system in Britain and why that failed. And here's a cost-benefit analysis of what's going to happen to the healthcare costs and doctors and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. And we get loaded up with all this ammo. And we lose. And we lose because Barack Obama and the progressives understand the power of story. So what does he do to sell an abomination like Obamacare? What does he do to sell an abomination like Obamacare that's going to cost money, cost lives, and take a lot of your tax dollars and your freedom of choice away? How does he do it? Well, he stands on the floor of the House of Representatives during a joint session of Congress, and he talks a little bit about the legislation, but he doesn't lay out facts and figures and statistics and everything. What he does is he points up to the balcony, and the camera goes to the balcony, and there sits a little old lady, Abigail Johnson, and Barack Obama says, now up in the balcony is Abigail Johnson, who had a pre-existing condition that was life-threatening, and she spent all of her money and all of her husband's money, a late war veteran war hero who's no longer with us, sadly. And Abigail Johnson was going to die from this condition, but because of the provisions of this new legislation, Abigail Johnson has a new lease on life. Abigail Johnson gets to spend another Christmas with her grandchildren and many more Christmases because we don't leave anybody behind. And people look up there and they see the face of Abigail Johnson smiling down at President Barack Obama, and they think, well, let's do it. Because I don't want that lady to die. I don't want her to die either. I don't. I really don't. The millions of people who might die because of national health service kind of insurance are the people that lose their insurance because of these new Obamacare regulations or the new taxes or the new rates. Nobody cares about that. Those are statistics. Joseph Stalin got it right. One death is a tragedy. 1,000,000 deaths is a statistic. The left personalizes the story. And when they personalize the story and make it about a face, people's emotions take over. I didn't want that lady to die. Okay, let's see what this Obamacare thing's about. Let's vote for that. You got to understand this is how they fight. And it may be, in fact, a wounded guy holding a grenade to kill the medic. Okay, if that's how they want to fight, then let's fight that way. It's what works. We got to be prepared to fight them like that. We got to personalize this message, got to tell some stories.